A new year and maybe a new house. We're about a month into the new year, so let's look into how the housing market's shaping up for the time being. Eddie Campos is here we can get an update on the whole thing. And Eddie, I love it when you come. I love talking real estate with you. You're one of the top realtors in the area.
You're a frustrated realtor, I think, deep down inside.
You know what? If only you, I'm terrible with numbers. Is that okay?
That's okay. You can still get by. That's what the lenders and the title people are for.
I said famously, I really have no skills. I can read and I can talk. That's about it. So tell me about how is the housing market right now? Interest rates are stubbornly high at about 7%, and they even went up a little bit at some point in the last few weeks. But how is that looking to maybe relieve the housing market somewhat, get things moving?
We'll start out with some good news. I just got off the phone with Billy Horn over at Savage & Associates. 30-year fixed mortgage, 6.875%.
Okay.
And we know from the Fed's indications that they're talking about 2 interest rate reductions this year, possibly 2 more in 2026. If we can get to 6%, maybe even a little under 6%, I think we'd all be throwing a party.
Yeah, I think so. We were all spoiled when it was like next to nothing, like 2.75, 2.5,
right.
whatever it was.
Right.
But like, even historically, around 7 has been the number anyway. But we're so spoiled. So yeah, 5 to 6, that would everybody be happy campers, wouldn't
And
they?
actually, historically, it's 8%.
Is it really?
Yeah. So when you say we are spoiled at 3, I've had clients that were at 2.2%.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons we don't have the inventory that we'd like to have right now, so nobody wants to give that up.
The baby boomers especially, because we're the
Right.
ones that, but like
Right.
in my situation, at some point we're going to want to downsize and go to a smaller place as we approach the golden years. But anyway, we're sitting on those nice mortgages.
Yeah.
So it's got to be really difficult for young people to get into the game.
Yeah.
You know, we've been in the game for a long time, and so we've got equity in our homes over the years. But if you don't have equity in a home to start, is the industry getting more creative in finding ways for people to get in the market?
Yeah, so fortunately, there's a lot of opportunities for buyers right now to get into a home affordably, even though on the surface it may not seem like it. So the Ohio Realtors, in conjunction with the state of Ohio, put together an Ohio Home Buyer Savings Plus account. So this is available for first-time home buyers and repeat home buyers. It's a savings that gets a savings account that gets an enhanced interest rate. You get some tax breaks that are available. You can start with $100. You can save up to $100,000. You can save for 5 years. The requirements are that you're an Ohio resident buying in Ohio. And then you can use that to be able to buy your home. So even you could use that. So in 5 years, let's say you're ready to finally make that downsize, right? And you know that you have a ton of equity in your home, but you don't have 100% equity, and you know that you're going to buy a home that maybe you're going to build. And it's going to cost a little bit more because new construction is a little more expensive than buying an existing home. You can use that home buyer savings account to be able to enhance your interest rate, get some tax incentives. Now you got some extra money that you can use for that purchase.
It would seem like your best plan of attack, if you're in that situation, if you're younger, is contact a realtor who knows what is going on with all this.
Yeah.
And they can, and with RE/MAX, for example, what you work for, you work a way into finding a way to help that person find the way to make it happen.
Right. So here's a great example. I just came from a listing/buyer consultation with a couple that bought their home in 1995. Has real estate changed since 1995?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. It's changed just since from August of 2024. So because of that, it's very complicated. It's challenging. You know, they didn't have home inspections maybe when they were starting to buy their home. Disclosures were different. There's a different way of doing things. You could close a home in a couple of weeks. So the process was a lot simpler. So the real estate agent is like your concierge. They're your guide to get you through. And in a service-oriented society, right, because we're paying to have our McDonald's delivered home, we're clicking a button and trying to get our delivery next day from Amazon, this is where that realtor comes in to be able to guide and direct you through those things, bring you facts so that you can make good decisions.
You've been in the industry a long time. Something that's never happened before is a part of the population, baby boomers, are like getting to those golden years, and their needs are different. So there's a more need for villas, for condos, things like that really didn't exist before. So how is the whole housing market, the whole housing industry change in adapting to that need? And what would happen afterward when the population at that age goes down and that's no longer necessary?
Yeah, so you're right. So for them, definitely a ranch home, probably a home without a basement. a villa or condo, that's what they're most interested in. But like you said, a lot of them are holding off because they still might have a little bit of a mortgage and they don't want to quite give that up just yet. So then for somebody who's just coming into the market, when you and I bought our home, I'm going to guess that we were both in our low 20s.
Yeah.
The average first-time home buyer is in their mid-30s. Big difference. So they've saved more money. They have more funds to be able to work with. They've got credit that's been taken care of. They paid off some student loans. So they're actually buying homes that are up to $350,000 for their first home.
Really?
You know, mine was $120,000.
Oh gosh, mine was like 60.
Yeah, so
back in 1975, 76, 77, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so yeah, the market has changed drastically.
But you know, the interest rate, we talk about interest rates, we've talked about this.
Right.
I got a variable interest rate loan. The interest rates were like 12, 13%.
Right.
That was what the interest rates were to buy a home in those days at that snapshot in history. But you could get a lesser one with a variable, but you had like 1 or 2 years to get a fixed loan?
Correct. And those are actually still used today. When people were anticipating interest rates dropping, they would get a variable interest rate to get into the home today because we needed to get in today because the demand was so high. And then if interest rates came down, they were able to make that adjustment. But, you know, as you pointed out, my first home was around 9%.
Yeah.
My buddy John Mangus has an old Blade article in his office that shows interest rates at 18%. I mean, and we're complaining about 6.875. Things got to be put into perspective.
Eddie, always good to talk with you.
Yeah, great talking to you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
we'll be right back.